Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today is a very special episode. So I'm welcoming back to the show Jessie Williams, who is a managing partner at jmWilliams CPA. If you don't know about Jessie or you didn't catch the first episode, we're going to do a deep dive, but today is a celebration. So Jessie is one of our newest authors in our Mission Matters series of books. First off, before I talk too much, Jessie, just want to say, hey, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Fun to be here.
Oh man, I'm so excited. The more that you've become a part of the community over at Mission Matters and really just connected. I mean, we've interacted on our clubhouse events that we do every week Thursday. So I mean, it's just been a really a lot of fun getting to know you, and it's going to be an honor to publish your book. And I'm excited to get into your writing as well. But before we
Yes.
do that, we'll start this show the way that we start them all, with our Mission Matters Minute. So Jessie, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. So that's our mission here. Jessie,
Mhm.
what mission matters to you?
Oh my goodness, that's a very tough one. I what really matters to me is sharing knowledge. To be honest with you, there's such a lot of plather of knowledge out there, of information, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed. It's so easy to get confused. Not only your friends who are um somewhat experts or think they're
Yeah.
experts. We have a lot of misinformation out there too. So I do like to just share what I've known, what my success are in life, just in any
Mhm.
aspect of my life. And I see that in a lot of younger entrepreneurs, people who have side gigs and just wanted to make sure they're doing the right thing and not get caught up with bad practices and the
Mhm.
IRS and state and what have you. So what really matters to me is making sure people feel confident, they're equipped with all the
Mhm.
knowledge they have to be successful business owners.
Yeah. And so
Mhm.
one of the things, and I get that from you, and that's really one of the reasons I love bringing, first off, obviously mission-based entrepreneurs and experts on onto the show, but it's also
Mhm.
one of the reasons that you were selected for the book. Like as we go through the review process and we're looking for things and we're like, man, and your interview just stuck out. And so what do you think? And I'm not saying that because just for the audience and everybody watching, we're
Uh-huh.
not saying that this has to be the final content, but I do like to get a sneak peek. So Jessie is a
Mhm.
newer author. So what do you think you want to write about?
Um, I'm going to leaning more towards the coaching side and
Yeah.
think and since I like to share knowledge, coaching, mentorship that comes in many different forms. It could be very informal. It could be
Mhm.
free. It could be not. It could come in a form of a book, actually. Not to promote the book, but
Hey,
sometimes
hold on.
you
We promote books first off, and we sell books. So everybody watching, go
right.
to Amazon, put in Adam Torres books, Mission Matters, buy some books. Go ahead, Jessie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So right now, for instance, I'm wanting to get into speaking, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I like this particular guy as a coach. And I was like, he has a book. Let's read that first to see if it's
Yeah.
great before I spend some money. And I think with coaching, it could be pretty much the same. You want to work with someone who has done what you want to do, and sometimes it's hard just trying to figure it out. You want to know if you're
Mhm.
doing it right. If you're not, so I do think investing, depending on what level you are in your career, your
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, whatever journey it is, I do think coaching and seeking out a coach in some aspect
Yeah.
is very important. And I'm really going to talk about coaching and
Mhm.
mentorship and the people in my life who have shared knowledge with me
Yeah.
and really help nurture the small success I've had, to this day,
Mhm.
actually. So that's
What
pretty
is
much in a nutshell.
What is mentorship meant to you? Because I sometimes I hear the word mentorship and I know it means different things for different people, and I know it's had a different effect in different people's
Yeah.
lives. Like, what does that mean to you?
You know, the thing is, people always mix advisory, mentorship, and even an advocate for you,
Mhm.
right? I've had a friend, even like an undergrad, like a mentorship could just be someone who know better or know a little bit more and
Yeah.
just willing to share things with you because they just want to see you succeed.
Mhm.
There's some people that's going to put you in the right places. I call them actual sponsors.
Yeah.
They are very active in your success, so they kind of will do a little bit more than a mentor, I would say. But a coach is someone who I feel that has the skill sets, have done the work before,
Mhm.
constantly improving their skill sets and want to just pass it on
Mhm.
to others. So those are literally different areas of just people sharing knowledge. And for me, what mentorship means is just really someone just giving me information that had I
Mhm.
not had it before, I probably
Mhm.
had to seek it a little bit harder, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at jmWilliams CPA, I know that,
Mhm.
and from our previous work together, I know that you bring this spirit and this heart of mentorship and helping people to your
Mhm.
practice and to your clients, and you work with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Like what do you think the difference maker is there? Like, what's the difference maker in doing that? Because I feel like by adding that piece to it, it's just so much more.
Yeah, I find that a lot of entrepreneurs, and even me personally, when
Mhm.
you own your own business and you're in business for yourself,
Mhm.
it's very hard at the top, not because you're so successful and everyone is not. It's hard at the top because everything falls on you.
Yeah.
The buck falls on you. You are the entire pie, like I like to
Yeah.
say. So you always want to make sure you're doing things right, and
Mhm.
it's a roller coaster of emotions as an entrepreneur. And sometimes you just well, you're never going to have all the answers. So for instance, if you have a guy who's is a plumber and he's just killing it in plumbing,
Yeah.
well, he chances are he may not know the finance part of it.
Mhm.
Even people who are in finance, they may not know the
For
ins and
sure.
outs of record keeping, bookkeeping, taxes, tax planning. And
Mhm.
honestly, that's why people have CFOs, so they could
Yeah.
get someone to partner with them to to make sure that they're on the right path and they're doing things right, and you could really worry about the
Mhm.
operations and growing your business and bringing in more, I guess, dollars into the business. So
Yeah.
I find that just being that partner in a sense for my clients, someone
Mhm.
that they could get in touch with on a regular basis, it gives them a little peace of mind.
Yeah, and that specialization piece is important as well. So even if you have, a certain amount of expertise, there's something to be said for getting that third party view. Like, I know
Yeah.
in
And
my career, and I'll say it just for myself, like in my career,
uh-huh.
every time I think I knew something and then I went to somebody that was an expert in that particular thing,
Yeah.
I realized maybe I didn't know as much as I knew
Exactly.
or
And
thought I knew.
sometimes and I feel the same way too. Like I have a group of business owners, some
Mhm.
beautiful ladies who own their own practice as well, and we meet at least once a week. We probably talk every day through chat. But
Mhm.
I will ask a question that I really thought I knew, but it turns out that the ones in the group who are more experienced or more knowledgeable,
Mhm.
I didn't know much. And I also too, what helps me, I do have my MBA degree, so that's the overall business of things, how you should approach certain things. I
Yeah.
have a background in that, so that is a nice little icing on the cake for my clients as well. So I literally could be a CEO or and a CFO at the same time
Mhm.
for them.
So one of the things that I notice about you, and I'm assuming this carries over in your practice, just based off of what you just told me with the group of ladies that you meet with regularly, is this
Hmm.
idea, and I get in this sense of community. Like, once you started getting involved with us after our first interview, and you were coming on the clubhouse and other things like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this entrepreneur of community, that roller coaster that you mentioned that all entrepreneurs go through, in my opinion. It's going to be
Yeah,
the ups and the downs, of course. Like, community is so important, and engaging and making sure that you're part of a community, whatever that is,
it
whether
is.
it's coaching or otherwise, but like that connection is just needed.
It is needed. There's actually a thing called group coaching, and
Mm.
it is really good because it's a little bit cheaper than one-to-one coaching as
Okay.
well. And you could always ask those stupid questions,
Mhm.
because when you're a new beginner in the community, you do ask these questions, and people who've been in
Mhm.
a community for years, they're probably like, oh, here comes a newbie. And it happens. And at the same time, you really have to not be scared to ask a question, because
Mhm.
everyone has been in that position. I do like the coaching, the program, the group coaching, because you develop friendships, you partner up,
Mhm.
you have people who have gone through the exact same things you have gone through, so it
Yeah.
makes it way easier. You get questions way quicker than your coach, who's only going to talk to you,
Mhm.
if you're lucky, once a week, and that's only once a week. Like, they're not answering emails 24/7. You only
Yeah.
have them for 1 hour of the week, and that is it. So then you could get to that group, whether it's on Facebook,
Mhm.
and just ask all the questions. You can even search to see who've asked the question before and what responses they have had. So
Mhm.
it's really great to coach with coaching. I remember when I did it years ago. I mean, I still have actual friends that I've made, and we're still friends to this day. So,
Mhm.
and that's over 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to some of the newer entrepreneurs and business
Mhm.
owners that may be watching this. So
Mhm.
obviously, hindsight being 2020, right? We go back and we're like, oh, if I would have known this back then. If you
Mhm.
could go back and you could talk to that, Jesse, that's just kind of getting started again about specifically about
Mhm.
entrepreneurship and business. What kind of things would you tell her?
I would honestly tell her to just trust your gut more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be confident that mistakes are going to happen. They
Mm-hmm.
are learning experiences. You're going to waste money, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to make an expensive mistake, but it's okay to, for instance, as an example, like, you hire someone to help you marketing, and
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know anything about marketing, you hired them, but you don't know anything, so you don't know how to judge their success for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's sort of like you just wasted 3 grand, and you don't know if it was actually productive or not. So
Mm-hmm.
then you go back and you might read a book or something about marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and know what a clear vision do you want for this person. You always got to go back to the basics, like, what is the
Mm-hmm.
goal, what is the end result, how can I measure it? And sometimes we get so caught up in things that we forget the basics. So it's okay to make mistakes, and learn from it, is what I always say. And just be comfortable in your mistakes as
Mm-hmm.
well. Um and that's what I would say. You're not going to get it right all the time. You're really not. It's just,
Yeah.
and that's okay too. It really is.
Yeah, anybody that gets it right all the time, I don't know who that is. Not not
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
not in the game of entrepreneurship, that is. It ain't
Right,
happening.
right, right. You either learn or you win, right? It's
Yeah.
either one or the two.
Yeah. Try not to make the same mistake again, but you probably will. I probably will. I mean, it just happens. Like, you're like, man, I forgot I made that mistake. I made it 4 years ago. How am I supposed to remember?
Document it.
There you go. So
Mhm,
speaking of mistakes, and when I ask
mhm,
this question, I don't ask it like to put you on the spot from the standpoint of there's one
mhm,
magic answer, like one magic
mhm,
answer that's going to solve all business owners' problem. That's not going to happen. But I do
mhm,
know that you've worked with a lot of people and you've seen a lot of different things. So maybe if we keep it on the theme level, like
mhm.
what are some of the things that you found kind of keep business owners that even have a good idea and have a little bit of success behind them. What kind of holds them back sometimes that you find?
I find that their own self hold them back, their own fear. I was
Mm-hmm.
in this group on Facebook, and this one particular person asks, hey, she's trying to make the plunge to start her own business. I
Yeah.
mean, she has it already, but she's trying to quit her day job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard. That is the biggest thing that is very fearful for a lot of entrepreneurs, just doing it 100% on your
Yeah.
own. And I always say, like, just do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you honestly have to lose. If it sucks, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know, you just go find another job. You know what I
True.
mean? So, like for instance, if my firm decides to just tomorrow go south,
Mhm,
you know, accountants are always in demand. I mean, I
mhm,
get the funds that I want, but I'll at least have a job and I'll rearrange. But the biggest mistake I find that people don't believe in themselves.
mm,
They just don't at all,
mhm,
because I mean, you just have to trust in yourself, bet on yourself, because no one else will. Um,
mhm,
you know, I always say to stop telling folks your business in terms
mhm,
of, I love to share and I would always be a sharer, but you got to be careful who you're sharing with too, because they might magnify your own self-doubt as well. You know,
mhm,
I've been lucky when I made the plunge that I probably only heard of one person that was scared from me, but everyone else was very
mhm,
excited. And the person who was scared for me never ever did anything entrepreneurial day in their life. So
mhm.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have to understand who you're telling your dreams to,
Mhm,
and you have to understand that it's your vision and no one else's, and you just got to take a leap of faith on your own and just do it. Stop getting in your own way is one of the biggest advice I tell people all the
mm.
time. Yeah.
Get out of your own way. Easier said
Hmm.
than done. I'll say that one for everybody that's like, I'm
Yeah,
trying,
you
but
got to,
hey,
you know,
easier said than done. I'm probably in my way later this afternoon. I don't know.
you gotta just do it. You know, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I can't begin to describe to you the day that I quit my day job,
Mm.
my very secure job as a as a public accounting. That ride home on the train was the worst feeling ever. I had to I had to sit down. I had to ask a lady for a seat. That's how terrible I
Mm.
felt. Sick to my
Mm.
stomach. Like, what did I
Wow.
just do? Yeah.
I think my hands just got clammy from that. I'm picturing like sitting on there, like, what did I just do? Everybody that has that feeling that had
Yeah.
their last day from maybe a secure job or something else, and they're like, what did I just do? Oh my gosh.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
So speaking of your business,
Mhm.
let's shift gears a bit. I don't want to assume that everybody watching this has caught our first interview together.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about jmWilliams CPA and the type of clients you help.
Okay. So, well, we are not your basic tax and accounting firm. We solve problems and we work very closely with our clients, preferably business owners that
Mhm,
just want to be more successful. And the beautiful thing about working with us and me
mhm,
eventually is that whatever it is that you are going through,
mhm.
I'm going through it probably at the same time with you. I've probably had some success, and I'm connected with others who are in that same space as well. And I'm big on connecting. I
Yeah.
make sure that financially, at least I try to, that you're
Mhm.
covered for the whole pie. I always ask my clients, do you have a financial advisor? Okay, you don't have one, speak to this guy.
Yeah.
And you know, and I educate them on things that they need to have other than just helping them
Mhm,
prepare a tax return. You know, try to share with them the importance of tracking and how
mhm.
your numbers is really the language of your business, and using that to make very good sound decisions for your
Mhm.
business and what direction to take it in. You know, if we're in a particular package where I speak to you weekly or monthly, you know, we talk about everything business related. Really is
Yeah.
really like you're having that advisory piece with
Mhm,
me, depending on how far or how in debt you want us to go. But you know,
mhm,
our niche is real estate, specifically more property management development.
mhm.
But for some reason I have a soft spot for new entrepreneurs, people who are starting, people who want to transition, people who want to quit. And
Mhm,
you know, and so with that was born this coach through program
mhm.
that's in the beginning stage right now, that's trying to gain some traction, because you can't be everything to everyone. So you
Yeah.
got to find a way and a platform to reach more people in less amount of time. And that's what we're trying to figure out here. how could we help those people? Because as you probably seen, the pandemic brought out a lot of gigs, a lot of
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, and some people had great success. And then they woke up one day and say, oh, I haven't recorded any income or expenses for the entire year. Now tax
Wow.
season is coming. So
Hmm.
yeah, so we work a lot with that, and just trying to figure the right structure to put your business in. How could I legally not pay as much taxes?
Hmm.
What am I doing right and what am I not getting? Is what it's like to work with us.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that team concept. So as you mentioned, like thinking about your team and who and what players you're putting in what position to, to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish what task. And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like on your end, like a big part of your role is on the strategy side, obviously on the execution on tax and things like
Yeah.
that. And then also really almost serving as a type of manager or coach, like where you're bringing in other or referring other possible team members that maybe they're
Yeah.
missing, whether there's a
Mm-hmm.
loophole here or with the financial advisor or something
Mm-hmm.
else that's needed. Is that
Yeah.
kind of how it works?
That's exactly how it works, kind of looking at the big pie, the big picture, and
Hmm.
and just sort of making sure that we are servicing everything, and everything is kind of meshing well. Like bookkeeping we do, but I have someone that could take care of that while I focus on
Yeah.
the big picture. Like what is the trend of the numbers that we're looking at?
Hmm.
Did we account for this? Did we account for that? Just being more proactive than retro,
Hmm.
active, I would say. Yeah.
So speaking of the numbers, so two
Hmm.
concepts here, right?
Yeah.
Numbers and fear. And sometimes like running your
Mhm.
business by the numbers isn't
Yeah.
always the easiest thing to do if you haven't been doing it from the beginning. Like a lot of business owners,
Yeah.
right, running their business based off of their bank account, the balance, can I
Mhm.
pay, can I
Mhm.
not pay?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Speak a little bit more on just the value of understanding the numbers and how it empowers you to make business minded, like logical decisions that can help your
Yeah.
business. So the same amount of resources, because sometimes
Mhm.
business owners, I feel like they think, well, I just need more revenue. I need more money, right? I need more
Yeah.
resources. And
Uh
it's
huh.
not always the case. So from your vantage point, give me a little bit more on that end.
I always say, numbers. People always get scared of the numbers, and I never
Yeah.
could understand
Well,
why.
because you live in numbers. That's
Well,
why. What
guess
do you mean?
what?
Of
We
course you can't
we
understand.
all I get that response all
Of
the time.
course.
We all have calculators on our phones. We all have, okay, may not know how to use a spreadsheet, but it's simple math. Money comes in, money comes out. Okay. There is no, I
Mm.
guarantee you, there's no catalyst. There's
Yeah.
no, there might be some algebra. You don't need to know algebra to
Yeah.
take care of your own books. And I'm a big advocate in that you can do it yourself because it is empowering. For example, I always tell people, instead of the numbers, forget the numbers, and let's start with your vision.
Yeah.
How much income you want to make this year? Let's start with that. Well, the year is over. In 2022, how much you
Yeah.
want to make? What would make you happy? Um, in 2022, not in 5 years. So if someone
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I want to do 200K
Yeah.
in gross sales," okay, what does that look like on a monthly basis?
Hmm.
All right, we figure out what that number is, and now what we're going to do is, what do we need to do now to bring in that much sales? Like, do you need
Hmm.
to get on the phone? Do you need to do this? Do you need to do that? Like, whatever it is for your business that you need to do to make that is what you
Hmm.
need to do. And then we look at your costs. Like, what is your typical cost? Is it going to cost you more every time you generate extra
Hmm.
$5,000 in sales? And most service-based business probably is no, if you could learn how to scale.
Yeah.
And talking to someone up front and figuring out what are the expenses that I typically can write off, that is
Hmm.
necessary too. That's the key word, to run my business.
Hmm.
So these are things you want to think about. So when tax season comes along, you're not trying to pull from space all these
Yeah.
deductibles, and you just miss the book. Like, Are you going to be driving for work? Are you going to need your car? Okay, you are. So your accountant is going to tell you this is how you need to document your miles. This is
Hmm.
how you need to document, meals and entertainment, what have you. Oh, you're
Yeah.
working from home. So there, you can't just go ahead and deduct stuff. Stuff needs to be documented. It needs to
Yeah.
be accountable plan is something that we use in the accounting world. If you have a business structure, things need to be a little bit more structured than others. So there's a lot of things that go into play, and I think sometimes to just having an initial conversation with an
Hmm.
accountant, most of the time it is free. You and if you want to read, you can read the go on the IRS website and read.
Hmm.
It's very, very, very easy. The knowledge is out there, but people oftentimes they freak themselves out. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You just figure that, oh, I was never good in math, and you started your own business, you're
Hmm.
already a genius. So adding and subtracting is not that hard, but there are tools, so you don't have to do it in Excel. You could get,
Yeah.
you could get QuickBooks online, and that is like super easy. It is
Hmm.
designed to replace bookkeepers. It's this. I think a monkey could do it. So, um, you just follow the instructions, and it's so easy. And
Hmm.
always consult someone that's for free. Consultations are free these days.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, I'm not going to say it's easy. I'll play the other side on this one. It's easy for you because this is
Well,
what you do all day, day in,
it's
day
not
out.
easy when you're making the big bucks, Adam.
Yeah, it's not easy to do all these things, but I will say that from my end, I think working with somebody that you feel hears you, like just on the and understood, and
Yeah.
that can really coach you and
Hmm.
work you through some of these things. I feel like as you build relationships with whomever is on your
Yeah.
team that's in charge of that, whether it's the strategy, the bookkeeping, whatever the piece is,
Hmm.
but it's also just for the entrepreneur to do a good look in the mirror and just say, hey, if they absolutely, if they're not going to put in, that you have to put in a certain amount of effort to understand,
Yeah.
obviously, to have the meetings and things like that. But
Hmm.
ultimately, if that's not your strong suit and you're just the creator or you just want to do other things, so you still
Hire
have to get
someone.
somebody in there to do it. Like the work
Yeah,
still has to be
exactly.
done because
It's
Uncle Sam's not playing. Like the work still has to be done.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Jesse, first off, this has been great. Always fun and amazing working with you. I'm
Hmm.
so excited to have you in the next edition of our Mission Matters series of business leaders. So excited to publish your work and to read it. We'll bring you back
Hmm.
on the show when the book is launched, so you can talk about the writing, of course, the experience overall, and so we can do some promo and sell some books. We want people to buy some books, so we do sell books. But
Yes,
that being
yes.
said,
Hmm.
Jesse, if somebody's watching this and they wanna learn more and they want to connect with you and follow up and talk about
Hmm.
jmWilliams CPA or your future coaching program that you're working on and all that good stuff, what's the best way for people to connect?
I am fairly active on social media.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook are my main three.
Hmm.
And you could just literally just search, Jessie Williams is going to be hard to find. My name is very generic. There's an actor there with the same name. But once you put in the CPA at the end, you could find me. But
Mm.
if you do jmWilliams CPA, you could find me as my tag for all platforms.
Mm.
And, just don't be afraid to go on the website as well. It's still
Yeah.
jmWilliamsCPA.com. Free consultation is there as well, or you could just call us.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Jesse, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure as always. And for everybody that's watching this, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you're a first-time viewer or a listener, if you're on our podcast and you don't know the type of content we do, we bring on mission-based business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts, and we have them share their best with you. Tips, tricks, things to make you successful in your life. So definitely hit that subscribe button because we have many more mission-based individuals coming up, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Jesse, thanks again. It really has been fun.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks.